we have spent over 300 nights in this coach.
Woohoo.
With 5 people. And we've lived to tell about it. All right, welcome. We have got a special video for you this week. We've had so many questions about how in the world do you guys do life on the road with such a, small, and I'll use that in air quotes, space. How does the coach drive? What are all the features, all those things? There's gonna be 3 parts to this video. So we're gonna do a coach tour exterior. So we're gonna go through the bays, show you how we utilize the space. Secondly, we're gonna come inside and Deborah is gonna give you an interior tour of the coach. And then we're gonna sit down and actually do a review. So we have spent over 300 nights in this coach.
Woohoo.
With 5 people. And we've lived to tell about it. No, it's been amazing, but we wanna give an honest review. There are a lot of people I know when we were just getting into RV life and the thought of doing these trips. And there were a lot of great YouTube videos that we watched, as well as a lot of great people we talked to. One of them who was an RV salesperson who unfortunately didn't get to sell us a coach. Well, she didn't sell us a coach through her store, but she actually sold us on this coach. She didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But she was awesome. So we want to share some of those moderate tips, but basically the review of our 2022 Forest River Berkshire XLT 45CA. And we'll tell you what the XLT stands for. It's not magic, but it's kind of magic. So anyway, we'll tell you about that. We're gonna head outside. We're gonna go through all the bays, show you all the outside things. We'll come back in, show you the inside, and then we'll give you our honest review. So let's do it. All right. So we've got a lot to cover because there is a lot of features on this coach. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, this is the exterior door. It has a keyless entry. It also has a key fob. We never use it. We utilize this all the time. It's wonderful. So keyless entry. Up above the door is the door awning, which is fantastic when the sun's beating down on this side. We can put out the door awning. The tires on this thing are basically semi-truck tires. So they get the job done on the road, even in the pouring rain, which is wonderful. The coach has 2 fuel inlets. So there's one on both sides, which is really nice when you get yourself into a place and realize you're on the wrong side, like we did. I forget where we were at, but that did happen. So it's nice to be able to fill up on both sides. You can fill the tank faster. We rarely use this side because we typically go through truck lanes and have the high flow, so it works great. All right, that's that. So this side, the passenger side, has a full wall slide out, and this thing is a beast. It's absolutely amazing. So it does have a slide out topper, which is fantastic. When you go to put the full slide in, you don't get rain inside your coach, which is very nice. We did have to replace that because it did get a hole, so we realized how nice it actually was. And also, we have a patio awning. So this is a, what do they call it? A dual pivoting. So it comes down and then it's not like a straight out, which is super nice for shade. You want to sit outside in the shade. It's very, very nice. It also has a high wind sensor. So if the wind gets too high, and it starts to wobble too much, it will automatically put the awning in, which is, a really great feature to have. And if you've ever been in a campground and you've seen somebody's awning and high wind flop on top of their camper, rig, whatever they have, you don't want to be in that place. So that sensor is amazing, but not bulletproof, but it is very nice. Okay, so we're just going to work our way down. We'll try to hit everything. I think those are the majors up top. So our first bay is, which you'll hear me talk about this and call this the basement on our rig. We have a Dometic freezer refrigerator. It is dual zone, so you can have one side a refrigerator, one side a freezer, and it's really nice because it does pull out. So you can pull that out, easily get access to what you need. It comes out further than that. I'll just bring it out all the way. So even when the full slide out is out, you can still get in there and get what you want. Yeah. A myriad of ways you can use this.
And there's a little bit of storage on top that we use for that knee pad.
Yes, which is really nice if you've got to get under the coach or just get down into the bays to have a knee pad like this. So that's a really nice accessory.
Yep. We keep some extra, we don't really use those. Well,
those
we
are
use
the
them
pop-up.
once.
Yeah, so those are for emergencies. That could be a whole separate video of things that you should have in case of emergencies, but those are pop-up cones. So if you're off to the side of the road, you get a flat tire, whatever, you have those. Plus I have flares that I use as well. We also store the blocks, leveling blocks and things like that under there as well. So really nice. Like, this coach is not lacking for storage. I will just tell you that. We're a family of 5, travel all over the country for 12, 14-week periods at a time, and we have plenty of space.
Lots
so
of space.
we also carry a lot of extras. I'll just be sure.
Lots of
tell you
space
that.
for the just in case.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's put that back in there. You definitely want to make sure it's secure. So we're doing that. Okay, so this next one, Deborah uses this really primarily kind of as a basement pantry. We love the Husky containers. They're fantastic. We have containers for all kinds of things, dry goods, clothing, like winter clothing.
Paper products, napkins, extra paper towels, and then we have like a whole cold storage for when things do get cold and we need all of our winter coats and hats and mittens.
Gloves and spikes for our shoes, because if we're going to go out and hike in an icy place. So all of that goes under here. We also put like grill accessories and things like that down here as well, in a nice little crate, which is awesome. So really great storage on that bay. Then we have the TV bay. It's so much fun to go outside and watch college football games when that's going on. So we have a external TV, and this rig has a central communication system. So all of the TVs, all of the main TVs, go into one system and can all run off the same Apple TV. So we can have this TV on, the main inside TV, the TV over the driver passenger area, as well as our bedroom TV onto the same thing. So if a football game's on, wherever we go, it's the exact same game, which is a lot of fun. So, and these are smart TVs. So if we want them to be separate, then we can just change the input to the TV itself and then watch YouTube or whatever we want to on that. So really nice. Comes with the sound bar here as well. So really nice feature. And I will say, I wouldn't say we use this a ton, but it is really nice to have when the weather's super nice and you can be outside. So light a fire outside, sit around, grill out, watch a football game, start a campfire. It's really, really, really nice. So here's kind of one of the main bays, and honestly, it was a big selling point when we bought the coach. So this is the main bay, and it has a slide in it, and it's a massive slide. So you can actually pull out. So instead of having to like get down under there, you can actually pull out the slide. We take a lot of different things with us. I will just say this about this coach in general, and we'll talk more about this in the review, but we really want for nothing when we're on the road. I mean, we really have practically everything except maybe space and doors. The girls would say we want bedroom doors, which I get it. We have a bedroom door on the coach. So anyway, so we carry adjustable weight dumbbells. We'll show you. We have a bench that we take with us as well. This is our Weber grill. I will say this is one of our top 10 accessories for sure.
So
love
good.
This grill. We actually got rid of our other grill at home, and we just put this on our back porch while we're home and then put it back in here. It's a rock solid grill. Really, really good. Cleaning supplies, a blower. We have I forget what it's called. What is it? Little Giant ladder, which is amazing. I think this is our 3rd or 4th different RV ladder that we have purchased. The other ones, I just didn't feel safe going 13 feet off the ground. But this thing, I have zero fear. It's amazing. So I think we picked it up at Costco.
And I will also say under here, there's like, what are those, bars?
Yeah, it's called raised rails.
Okay. So we like the workout mat, and there's the big light. There's just extra things that we're able to store up in those rails. Out of the way. Yeah,
so we take a light with us that you can put on a tripod. We try to never get into a campground when it's dark. And I would just recommend get there early for many different reasons. But we did have an instance where we had a mechanical issue, got into a campground late at night, and it was so nice to have that light that we could throw up to actually be able to back the coach into this really tight, it was an awesome site.
It was a great site in the day.
It was Hot Spring National Park.
Gulf of Gorge.
Yes, Gulf of Gorge campground. Amazing campground, absolutely beautiful. I wish I could remember the guy's name that helped us jump our battery. What?
Gary.
Gary, yes, thank you, Gary. If you watch this video, thank you, Gary. But anyway, that light was super helpful. So we put a lot of that down here. There's also about 3 inches underneath the slide. So I store things like our big Starlink satellite. We put different weight exercise things underneath there. So really great storage when it comes to that. We also take 2 rugs with us. A big rug that kind of goes in this main patio area. You can kind of see them rolled up. And then we've got straps on those. All kinds of things that we put in here. If we told you about everything we had under there, this would be like a 5-hour video. So we won't go into all that.
We're just saying there's lots of storage.
Lots of storage. All right. So this bay is primarily the AquaHot bay. So the AquaHot system, we have an AquaHot 400D. It's an amazing heating system. So this is what heats our water, as well as it actually is the system that's used when we're on AquaHot heat to heat the coach. So our coach actually has 4 different ways that you can heat the coach. We'll talk more about that when we go inside, but this is an amazing system. So this coach has no propane. So it is a 100% electric coach. And then all of the systems like the generator, the AquaHot system, as well as the engine all runs off diesel, which is amazing because I'm not having to go around and try to find propane so we can have heat in the coach. We fill up at a truck stop and we're good to go in all those areas. So really, really nice. We also have storage over here. It does have, you'll see down here, a Dirt Devil, and you're like, what in the world is that? It does have a central vac system. To be perfectly honest, we don't use it. We have never used it. We like the Dyson stick vacs. They're really, really good. So we don't use that, but it does have it. And then I also store under there is actually a little Howl fire pit, which was just a new addition to our last trip. But we used it more than we used anything, and it's super convenient. So really, really nice for that. And then I also carry extra oil and extra coolant. So those are 2 things. Every morning on a travel day, I go out and I check what's the engine oil look like, as well as what does our coolant levels look like, because you don't want your engine overheating or blowing up on you. So, and this thing has been rock solid. Praise the Lord, it's been rock solid. So we carry a little extra of that. So if something does happen, we can always top off if we need to. And then we do carry, there's some insect sprays back there as well. If you're going into Florida, you definitely need your insect sprays, cutter, mosquitoes, all the things.
It cuts them all.
You definitely want that. When we were in Florida, yeah, actually at the beginning of this year, the campground we were staying at, I guess, had rat issues. So the lady beside us told us about this Tomcat spray that you can spray. And you do not want rodents in your coach. They can eat through electrical, they can eat through a lot of different things you don't want them touching. So we added that to the arsenal of things we have to protect the coach, as well as my daughters from screaming if they ever see anything like that. So anyway, that's good. All right, so that's that bay. Then we have what I would call the tank bay. So on the bottom is our 100-gallon water tank. So when we're on the road, if we're dry camping, we can store 100 gallons of water. Up above it, you really can't see it very well, but we have a 60-gallon gray tank, and that would be for things like showers, your sinks, things like that. And then we have a 40-gallon black tank, pretty self-explanatory. That's your sewer tank. So really nice, but this is where all the tanks are, where all the tank sensors are. Yeah, and we have not had really a single issue. Tank management is really important. A lot of people, if they experience odors and things like that in their coach, many times they think it's the black tank, but it's actually the gray tank. We'll do a separate RV life video on that. Deborah's got that down to a science on how to manage that, so we'll come back to that. But yeah, you can see massive, massive full slide. We do have the bunks, so you can kind of see on the outside, these are the bunk windows. The girls have literally woke up, looked out the window to Devil's Tower and a lot of other places. Just been, yeah, amazing. All right, so, okay, we got to talk about the wheels. Okay. I remember the first video that we watched on any coach, you know, even closely to this, and they called it an innie and an outie, which I was like, that's really weird. It's like belly buttons. So the front tires are your steer axle. these tires right here, the innie, these are your double, so dually drive axles. And then this guy back here is why there's a T in XLT. That stands for tag and a tag axle. And that tag axle has gotten us out of some pretty tight situations. Basically, if you're under, I believe it's 30 miles an hour and you really cut the steering wheel, those tires will turn to help you make a sharper turn. And when we say sharper turn, it's almost like spinning on a top. Yeah. How crazy it is. It's fantastic.
And you don't think that a coach this size would be able to do those things.
Right. And you're in some pretty tight campgrounds. I mean, the reality is when you're 45 feet, so this is a 40, actually I think it's technically a 44 feet, 11-inch coach. We've talked to many people, they'll get like the 40-foot coach. They don't have to have the tag axle. I've never driven one of those, so I can't really speak to it. But what I can speak to is this thing has gotten me out of some pretty tight situations. And if I was gonna go 40, I would just go 45 and get the tag axle if price was no consideration. So it is really good. And price was a consideration for us. God miraculously provided this coach for us. So anyway, tag axle is very nice. Next door here is the DEF. So this is a diesel engine. It's a Cummins 450 XCR, so it does require DEF. I believe this is a 15, 16 gallon DEF tank. And then a lot of the kind of engine components back here. This is the chassis battery. So there's 2 battery systems on this coach. So this is the chassis batteries specifically for the engine. And then there's house batteries, and the house batteries are what we use when we're on the road. And it would fuel things like the lights, anything that's not major electronics, which is super nice. So anyway, that's where the chassis battery bay is. So I'm not gonna go back here because we got some tight quarters, but this is the engine bay. You can just open that up. Super easy to get to. This is our Blue Ox flat tow system. There's a lot of really great flat tows. What is a flat tow system? It's basically so we can tow our Jeep and we don't have to have a trailer or a dolly or anything like that. So there's 2 parts to it. There's this part on the coach. There's a part that gets connected on the front of the Jeep that's permanent on the Jeep, and it makes it super easy for us to connect. Dubber does her magic to put it into flat tow mode. It doesn't just mean put it in neutral. You have to have, what is it called?
You have to change the transmission.
Yes. So, and she does that part. So I wouldn't even be able to begin to tell you how to do that. But it's amazing. It does really well. We connect the power. So the lights run off of that. We connect air because we use an Air Force One braking system on the Jeep. So when I apply the brakes in the coach, it also applies brakes in the Jeep. And then there's an emergency pull. So if somehow we were to get disconnected and that pulled, it would automatically put the brakes on the Jeep and stop it. So Lord willing, no one got hurt. All right, so now we're coming around to the driver's side. We have 2 slide outs. So we have the master bedroom slide out, and then we have the kitchen slide out on this side. We have had 0 issues with our slides. I've heard quite a few horror stories, but I think with the way that Forest River put these together, yeah, we've just had zero issues with them, which is really nice. All right, so we're not gonna go into all the details. There's so many things. Like we could talk about the roof and what's all on the roof, and we could talk about the leveling system. But I'll just point out, we do have an auto leveling system. It's very, very nice. Works really well. We've kind of come up with our own method of using it that works really well to keep the coach as low as possible. A lot of coaches, when they level, they'll raise you way high. And then that makes just for a little bit of wobble, especially when you have 5 basically adult people in the coach. So we've kind of come up with our own system to get it level, but keep it as low as possible. And it is made for, yeah, just a much nicer experience. So this is the water bay, also where the sewer all comes together. So super nice. Don't currently have a filter in it. We're kind of between trips, but I will be reloading. It will have a house filter as well as we use a softener and another inline filter outside. Plus it has another filter inside in the refrigerator. But the really nice thing about this is a lot of rigs have inline water. So like it goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. So if something breaks down, it kills it everywhere. And for us, everything connects in here individually. So you can literally come in here and see, okay, this is the hot water for the shower. This is the cold water for the rear bath shower. So like if we have issues, we can come out here and troubleshoot just what those issues are for those things. It also has a hose reel, which is really nice. When I see some people out there trying to crank up their hose, I'm so thankful I push a button and it just whoop, goes right up. So fantastic. This is the lever for the gray tank to clear it out or dump it out in the black tank. We also have a shower down here, which is really sweet. Rarely ever use it, but we do have that there. And then these are like your bottom drains, so you can open that up if you need to change out the filter or anything like that. This is where you can switch between tanks. So I can go from, I'm going to fill the tank. So when we're connected to seawater, it can fill the tank up. This is, we're on tank water right now. So if we were to go in and turn on a sink, it's pulling from our tank. When we're actually connected at a campground, we switch to city water. And then instead of pulling from the tank, it actually comes from the spigot there at the campground. So you can also fill the tank here. And then we also have a black flush. So we try to do this at least once a week when we're on the road. When we go to dump the tank, we also fill it up and we'll flush it out. You want to make sure you manage your tanks. I'll just tell you, we've never had this, praise the Lord, because I watched enough people who did on YouTube. And I never wanted to have the experiences that they had. So we want to make sure that we treat it every time and then that we flush it out just to keep it as clean as possible. So I think I covered everything down there. So it's really nice to have a light when you go outside at night and you're dumping tanks and doing different things. And you will find yourself, especially in the fall when it starts to get dark early, having like that is really nice. So this coach has the Precision Plex system. We'll show you more about that when we go inside, but you can kind of see where we're at. So freshwater, we have 3/4 tank, gray is empty, and the black tank is 3/4 full. And then you can go up and do a lot of different things here. I can look at tank levels, that's where we just were. I can look at battery voltage. I can look at generator status, as well as just general switch controls. So really nice to be able to control that
from here instead of going back inside and like checking.
Yeah, so I can turn the water pump off and on out here and do a lot of those things. You would be amazed at how many people are trying to yell through their rig to the person inside to have them do things and to be able to control all that out here. As well as I have an app on my phone that actually controls the majority of the Precision Plex system. So I can be outside turning off and on lights, even putting in the slides, unleveling the coach, doing all of that right from my phone, which is really cool. All right, this next bay. So we have a couple things here. Number one, the main thing, we have 50 amp power cord on this coach. You can see that's a little thicker than your average extension cord. We also have the transfer switch, so it automatically transfers between AC and DC power. So when we're DC, we're running off battery power. ACs, when we're plugged into a pedestal, that automatically converts over and does all that for us. We don't have to turn anything off, it just does it. I also use this space to carry an extra surge protector. So this is not your average computer surge protector. So we have one over there, the Watchdog, but then I carry an extra one. We had a situation where our surge protector actually went bad. And I just don't like being in that place where I have to directly connect. So who knows, some campgrounds, their power is a little dicey and you do not want to fry the electronics in your coach. So I kind of follow that idea. If you have two, you have one. If you have one, you have none, especially with critical things. Not everything, but this for sure.
That helps us not end a trip if something would go wrong with that. It's like, nope, we'll just swap out.
Yes, we'll just swap it out. It's not even stress. It's just like, okay, we're good. All right, so I keep all of my water supplies down here, inline water filter, those sorts of things. Our sewer lines are back there. And then just kind of the bow connector that goes into the actual inlet at the campsite. Then we also have back there is our water softener. I have 3 daughters and a wife who require soft water. The other benefit, what's that?
So high maintenance.
Oh no, you guys are awesome. It is a privilege to get to serve you soft water.
It also helps the coach.
It does. So that was the point I was going to make is soft water actually extends the life of your appliances in your coach. So don't think it's just hoity-toity people that, need soft water for soft hair. It has multiple benefits. So I'm glad I get to do that for you.
Thank you.
All right. So this is just the back side of the slide out. So you're seeing the back side of that. And yes, we'll just go ahead and, spill the beans here. Let's pull this out.
All right.
So to answer your question, we love doing Friday night pizza nights. We do this at home. We do pizza. We watch a movie as a family. It's like family movie night. A good friend of mine, Peter, got me into making my own pizzas with a pizza oven, and it travels with us. So when I say we literally, it's not like we
need for nothing.
Leaving all of the things at home. No, we literally are even taking our pizza oven with us. So one thing I would just point out here is having an extra stool. So there might be places that aren't exactly level that you have to level the coach on, which make the stairs a little bit high. So this is really nice. So we don't have to jump out of our coach or down from our coach. But again, like I said, plenty of storage. I mean, I literally have power tools, cleaning supplies, a ladder, and you get really good at using all your space. So even between the little ladder rungs up here, there's like things crammed down in there. So it all works out really, really well. But that will save your back. It's amazing.
Yes, it does.
Very helpful. All right, the next bay. So this is kind of our outdoor bay. So we have 2 hammocks with the structure, so it doesn't even require trees. A lot of campgrounds now, actually, I know this is weird.
Yeah.
But they won't let you, well, which I get it. They're trying to protect their trees and make it nice for everybody, so that's great. So we have the structures as well as the hammock, seats, fishing poles, helmets, weight bench.
Yeah, here's our weight bench.
Yeah, so it is literally all in there, and there's still plenty of room to spare. All right, so that's our outdoor bay. Then we have the power. So this is our house battery bank here and all the different electronics that go with that. These systems are incredible. I'll just say that. We have owned this coach now for going on 2 years. Every trip, I learned something new about this coach that I didn't know that it did. It is incredible what Forest River has done. Just blows my mind. So anyway, we have a 6 battery bank. And again, this is our house batteries. We talked to a big national RV place and said, hey, we're looking at lithium. What do you think about that? And they're like, well, if you're planning on being in colder places, we would actually recommend you stay with what you have. So I think we are going to do that. I know there's, differing opinions. It's almost like PCs and Mac when it comes to lead acid versus lithium.
Right.
But this has worked really well for us. So we're just going to stick with it. These do require a little bit of maintenance. You have to go out about every 30 days and make sure you fill them up with water, but we have had literally 0 issues, which is great. This is the hydraulics leveling system, as well as for the main big slide out. I believe these 2 are electric, and the big full slide out is a hydraulic.
Yeah.
It's hydraulic, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, that's that bay. And again, you can see, yeah, I mean, it's just so well made. I can't even, we've literally put about 26,000 miles on this coach. And slide outs, the functionality of the coach have been amazing. I know we're not to the review part yet, but it has really served us well. And I will say, we got this inspected before we purchased it. If you're purchasing an RV, would highly recommend that you get it inspected. One of the things the guy told us when we bought ours, like, you're basically getting a brand new coach. And we'll tell you that story maybe another day. But one of the things he shared with me that has really stuck with me, and I'll share it with you, is if you take care of it, it will take care of you. And we've tried to do that to the best of our ability, and Smokey has taken care of us. That's her name, Smokey. That's what we call her. She has definitely taken care of us. So very thankful. All right. So here is the driver's side fill up. I failed to mention that. On the back side down there, just beyond the tag, is the driver's side fill up for DEF, which is the side we use most often to fill up our DEF tank. So now we have the driver's side bay, and we've really tried to optimize this bay for when we're fueling up if there's things we need. So Deborah had this idea, which was awesome, to put some paper towels down here. I don't even remember what all went into this, but I think we got this off Amazon maybe.
Yeah, it's a big command strip.
And then the paper towels are special so they don't go flying off in the wind.
So they're sticky.
Yes, fantastic. So we put cleaning supplies down here. We also have air. So we do have air capabilities, tons of the electronics. There's also a handle right there. This handle, if you pull it, actually puts out the generator bay. I'm not going to do that today, but we do have a 10,000 kilowatt hour Onan generator, which is amazing for dry camping. I mean, we can literally pull into any harvest host, BLM land, and level setup, and we are completely self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's like we're plugged into electricity. That's how.
Yes, it's so still hard for my mind to be standing in people's parking lots, standing in a shower in their parking lot, taking a shower, and it's incredible. So anyway, really cool. And this is, just a really nice bay to have. Makes it super easy to access things as we're in places to be able to clean windows or do things like that. So
if you would pull the generator, where would that open up?
Yep. So the generator is this whole piece right here. She kind of looks like she's smiling. So if you pull that, this whole thing comes out and the generator is in there.
It's very easily accessible.
So, and we've got the nice lights. There's like 3 different settings on the exterior lights. I didn't mention that. So this lights up, as well as we'll show you on the other side. There's the patio awning that lights up, and then yellow light by the door. So big, massive windshield wipers, which are amazing. This also has radar on the front of it, which is an amazing safety feature. You can actually turn it off if you don't like it, but basically what it does, if somebody's in front of you, it measures the number of seconds they are from you, and it knows the speed that it's going and how far they are, and it will start to warn you if you're not going to be able to stop if they were to instantly stop. So it's a super nice feature when you're driving through New York City. I'll be honest, it's annoying. If you're driving through any big city, it can be annoying. But all of those times it's annoying is completely worth it for the one time where I've been driving for 6 hours and I'm just tired and it alerts me to something. So I keep it on. I think it's called Road Watch is the name of the system. But man, it's a great system. Yeah. So yeah, lights are great. Again, we try to never drive it at night. We have had to use them and they are very bright and get the job done. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about on the outside are these really cool looking praying mantis side mirrors. They're very rare. You don't see many coaches with them. I personally really like them. So it's got, obviously, you've got your down the side mirror, and then you have your typical side mirror. And these have a special little, you can see a little black circle right here. And that's actually a camera down the side. So when I'm driving and I hit that I'm the blinker to the right or to the left, it actually will show it on the screen inside a shot down the side of the coach. So not only can I see in the mirrors themselves, I also have that view, which is really nice. There's different situations. It could be raining, it could be foggy, and just to have another set of eyes like that can be super, super helpful. So there's that. Also, I didn't talk about the steps, pretty self-explanatory. We're obviously in camp mode, so there's a button inside where you can just leave them down, but ultimately it's all automated. You open the door, stairs come down, you shut it, they go up. Really nice feature. If we start the coach and we're still in camp mode, it will automatically put them up, because this coach is, for us, if you're new to the channel, this is our very first anything like this, camping RV, adventure mobile. And this thing has really made it so people like us who are newbies, it's almost foolproof. So that's just one example. That's been super helpful. All right, so we hope you've enjoyed the exterior. Obviously, we had a lot to cover. Now the fun part, not that that wasn't fun. This is kind of my area outside, all the outside stuff. But now we're gonna go inside and give you an interior tour. And yeah, she's beautiful. She's been a massive blessing to our family. So let's go ahead, go inside, and we'll pick up from there. All right, now for the interior. So we're gonna start up front, and then we're gonna work our way back and take our coats off, because it is nice and toasty in here. It's actually about 40 degrees outside. And in here, it is just wonderful, like 70 degrees.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
Nice.
So anyway, we'll talk about the heating systems and all those sorts of things. But from a driver's perspective, again, we're on the Freightliner chassis, which is absolutely incredible. Steering wheel, honestly, is more like a modernized, almost minivan type with the controls that it has on it. It's a digital dash that's actually was designed by Mercedes. Gives you all the data that you need. You have the screen here that you can either use. It actually has CarPlay availability. The nice thing is if you're on CarPlay using RV Life GPS or Google Maps, when you put on the blinkers, it will actually switch to the blinkers and then switch back to whatever you have on the screen. I think everything else pretty self-explanatory. Over here, you can adjust obviously the mirrors. You can adjust the air and the tag axle if you need to dump the tag axle air. And then this is the equalizer leveling system. Again, you can just power it up. You can hit auto level. Some RVs you see all of the different gauge in some of these older ones and all the buttons, and it's almost like you're flying an airplane. I really love how they simplified and really streamlined it. Here we've got shades, so you can put the shades up and down. We've got the night shade for privacy, and then during the day, and even while you're driving, sometimes you can drop down the sunshade. Let's say that your chassis battery is dead and you can't start it. You can actually hit this auxiliary start switch and it will assist with the house batteries and let you start the engine. So really nice little kind of redundancy that they built in. Map lights, we have those. There's a fan. So sometimes the air, if it's not making all the way back to where the kids are, while we're driving down the road, we can either flip the fans on or we can just flip one of the rooftop ACs on. So lots of options of how to control the temperature. This is one of my favorite buttons right here. You got to show that really close. So it's really funny going down the highway if you have to hit the horn, because it literally sounds like a minivan. Like the default sounds like a minivan, and it's comical. It's almost like if you were to see an elephant and they had a high-pitched voice. Yeah. That is what this thing sounds like. However, you hit that magic button and now you have an air horn. And for all of those in California,
you're welcome.
Yeah. It's magic. It's amazing. So we use it sparingly.
That is true.
I'll just say that. We try not to use it, but sometimes it's just for fun. If you're going through a tunnel that doesn't say no horns, you know, we have to do that to put a smile on our girl's face is. There we go. The generator start, you can start that from here, as well as the step cover. So when Deborah is sitting in the passenger, when this is in drive mode, so these front two chairs spin around. So when you are in drive mode, you can actually close off the step area right here. So you can kind of see it just slides out, covers it up, and makes it flat.
That's so I don't dangle my feet while we drive.
I think you still dangle your feet even when you have that.
Maybe
there,
a little bit.
Yeah. Or hers does have a nice footrest that comes out, so she'll be over there sipping her coffee, helping me navigate. But it's really nice to add 2 more seats. So if you have, I mean, really, we've had 7, 8 people in here.
Yeah.
And everybody has a place to sit and you don't feel like you're right on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty nice.
It's very nice.
Tons of storage up here. I'm not going to go through all the bays. Tons of storage up here. We can talk about the internet system on this thing is incredible. Yeah, TV and just, yeah, all these little kind of cubbies that you can use however you want. I put whenever I go to fill up with fuel, you want your fuel gloves because those handles are a mess. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you'll come in with really greasy hands. So these are really nice to have. All right, let's switch gears.
Welcome to the heart of the RV here. Might I make a little comment about the entrance by the passenger seat? I tried hard not to get that because I thought it would be so annoying to have everyone entering in right where I'm sitting. And it's just not that big of a deal. It really isn't. So I'm just going to put that out there because if I was concerned about it, maybe someone else is looking into a motorized vehicle and being like, I think I'd rather have a side door. It gives so much more space. It only bothers me hardly ever on a travel day. So the rest of the time you get more space here. Yeah,
so whether the entry is behind the
behind
passenger seat
passenger door,
or even like a mid-entry, which they do make those in the 45-foot coach world. But this actually, it's very wide. Like this is wider than the average door on these. We actually had somebody when we were in Key West stop and say, how wide is that door? My coach doesn't have one that wide. So anyway, it's very nice.
It's just not that much of a bother for the space that you gain not having a door mid-entry.
Right.
So that's nice. I like it. Things that are wonderful when we talk about we can leave our home and we have every comfort of home. This is a residential refrigerator. It fits everything. The only thing I would say that I do different in this refrigerator is I contain everything. I put it in sometimes a fancy little organizer and sometimes a $1 shoebox.
Both get the job done.
Both get the job done. You just need it held there. We also use some tension rods while we drive, just so that things do not surprise us when we open up the doors when we arrive. This one also has the water and ice in the door, which I really like.
Yeah, it has 2 ice makers. One below and one up above.
Right here, yep.
And if you're new to a coach and you buy one and you're like, why is there water leaking out of our refrigerator? You have to remember to turn off the top ice maker. It was hiding. We didn't even know it was in there.
And it kept on dribbling out of here, and there was just water flowing down because when we would drive, we're not plugged in, so it's not staying frozen.
It's more of a cooler.
Yes, and it's a great cooler as you drive.
Yes.
But that was a problem that we figured it out. This is a microwave convection oven, and it works great. I don't have any complaints about it as a convection oven. It is not my home oven, but it's an oven. And we have an oven on the road, so I always have to talk about that too. Under here is a induction stove. This thing is great. Fast, and there's 2 burners. We keep it under here just so that we have a little more counter space, because as you can see, the kitchen doesn't have a ton of counter space because we did opt to get the opposing couches, and that was for family time. So you learn to start figuring out what meals are doable on a smaller counter space, but it's deep. I have things laid all over sometimes. I use the table. I channel my great-grandmother who didn't have a lot of counter space in her actual home, and they used their kitchen tables. So it's wonderful. We have silverware, lots of storage, silverware, and all the things that we need. I also have extra space here for knives that we enclose. So everything stays. I think another thing to think about is you're traveling with your things. So I've always wanted to have the knife strip where the knives stick on the magnetic strip. And we have to remember that we're traveling with the things, so they need to stay enclosed just in case something would happen while we were traveling. We don't need knives flying.
We're generally a safety third type family, but there needs to be some common sense. So in a future rig where we have a towable RV, then we might do something like that. Because if it falls off when you're driving, and no one will be injured or maimed in the process.
And I think in a trailer, we're looking to downsize. You just might have a little bit less space. And here we have so much space. We also have a dishwasher.
Can you believe it?
I know.
Look at that.
Those are all actually clean and ready to be put away. It's like being at home, other than you just can't cram it. You know how a home dishwasher, you just like cram it so good. This one, you just got to be a little bit more strategic, and you can, and you are, and it's wonderful. We have room in here for like dishcloths. Down here is just utilitarian stuff that we use in the kitchen. Here's extra hot pads and utensils. I like to cook, so utensils are important. Like having the right tool for what I'm cooking for is something that is important to me.
And we've had people ask us, do you guys just eat like camp food? So hot dogs, hamburgers while we're on the road?
We do eat those.
We do.
But not consistently. We eat whatever we eat at home. We eat real meals, and we don't eat out a lot. We eat out once a week,
really.
It's really not that much. We prefer to eat in just because, number one, it can get really expensive eating out with a family of 5, or it can just be hard. We have a couple of dairy intolerances, and eating around a menu sometimes is very hard. We use our grill all the time until soup season starts. And then we use the Instant Pot, which I bring along a smaller Instant Pot. I store it down here underneath the dinette seats. And that's in my kitchen arsenal as well. So I love this sink. It is a full residential sink. I actually like the one, like I have this at home where it's just one opening, not a double-sided, and I love it. I usually keep one of these on for counter space. So that's nice that then when we travel, I just put both of them back on. We added this paper towel holder. We brought along our own water for coffee. We've learned power control system, what we can run at the same time and what we can't, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that's this side. This is my kitchen. I keep pots and pans up here. Down here is just storage. It's also like a lot of pipes for what's going on for plumbing. This guy rolls down and I keep like a little pan scraper and sponges and stuff, which I've taken them out because we're home right now. And that's like my working kitchen side. Over here is the dinette. This is where we do school. This is where we have meals. This is where, what else happens here? All kinds of stuff.
Work, school, meals, TV watching.
Yeah, that's right. It's like extra seats for TV watching, playing games. This up here is we switched to a lighter plate. But as you'll notice, like if we were in a trailer, I would not worry about putting this in between every single plate and bowl because we wouldn't hear them.
Yes, you don't have the sound factor as much rolling down the highway.
We hear everything as we're moving, and so we just try to deaden as much sound as we can. It's usually like a morning of you're emptying the dishwasher, you're throwing it up here and just sticking a little, what are those called? I don't know. We found them on Amazon. They're great. To deaden the sound, I love keeping a tablecloth here for when we want to eat outside. And then these little pans we found at Costco, and they're so much fun. We do hamburgers, French fries, bowls, you know, like where you'd put like potatoes and barbecue and stuff like that. And they're really easy. We take them outside and use them a lot. The girls don't like them because they don't go in the dishwasher. So then they have to wash them. But I think they're great for using outside. I've also made cookie bars on here. Like I think that was your birthday a couple of years ago. I made like a cookie bar and baked it because it's legit a pan. I keep our paper products up here, napkins, forks, spoons. We don't use a lot of disposable ware except for when we are dry camping or when we're traveling. I just grab from that a lot. Up here is our mugs, cups, and you'll see there's like this netting I've put around them just so that you can't hear them when we're traveling. So that is kitchen-y. I just wanted to show you where we put our school books because I didn't figure this out. And I was trying to open up this without taking the back off. And it's much easier when you do take the back off. This is all of where we put our school stuff and organize. I have Audrey's stuff up front. I have Kate's stuff in the back. We just
Markers, pens. Yeah.
And this just comes out like every time when we school. It just comes out and it gets used and then it gets put away.
The school locker.
Yes. All the things you'll need. I keep some of our educational games down here. Just whatever we're using for school gets down here. And it really, usually what happens is they unload it once in the morning, do school, then put it all back away. So it's not a big deal. As you can see, it just goes up, goes down, stick in the back. Over here, do you want to look in here or?
Yeah,
this is kind of like our junk drawer.
Utility.
Okay.
Utility cabinet.
Okay. Here's my junk drawer. Stamps. It doesn't look very junky though. Like office administration. What are you going to need that's in a desk at home usually? There's all the Forest River manuals because just in case we ever don't have internet and we need to look up something, we have it. This would be batteries,
extra fuses,
packing tape, command strips. Here's the smaller Instant Pot I was talking about that gets a lot of use. And then usually you have a toolbox right here too.
Yes. I just took it out last night actually to fix our door at home.
The dinette can be put down into a bed. The couches go into beds, but it was important to us that everyone had their own bed, that you weren't making it every night. So like, clear off the dinette so that Olivia can make a bed to sleep in. So above the driver's area is where Olivia sleeps. And this is a Eurobed that will come down and then retract when we need to be using this as driving space. So it comes down, it's a full bed. It stops about right here. It has a ladder that will attach. So she climbs up this way, uses the bed. She has all accessibility to the cabinets at that point and can stow away things that she's using, earbuds, lip gloss, whatever the things are that you like to keep beside your bed. She keeps all of that up there. And then in the morning, she puts it back together, closes it up, and we proceed with our day as normal. So let's move into the living room space. And you'll notice like we talked about before, the counter space is very small, but that's because we opted on purpose to have this opposing sofa so that we could have family time here together. We watch movies here. We sit and have family devotions here. We hang out here. We did add these little cubes, and usually when we're watching TV, we pull them over and use them as ottomans, but they do open up and we use them for storage.
What do you know? More storage.
More storage.
It's a premium.
They do have to move when we travel, and they just move to the back bathroom. So it's just part of our travel checklist. What else? This will go into a queen bed. It will come down into a queen bed. This comes down into like a little, it just goes flat. So I wouldn't quite call it a full, but if you have kids, they would love it. And that one goes down really easy. We love the fireplace, not only for ambiance. It's not on heat mode right now, but also sometimes in the morning, I turn the heat on and assume my fireplace position with like coffee, just warming up in the morning. And it's just very homey. It's very nice. It's very comforting. This used to be a window.
It was like a
decorative,
pane, yes.
It had like a window pane decorative. We just took out the glass and put in a mirror because with 2 working on 3 teenage daughters, we just needed a little bit more mirror space. And then there's a plug right here. So like Audrey does her hair and makeup here quite a bit.
Yes.
And it works really nice because they all share the same bathroom. And then there's less squabbling around who needs in for hair, who needs whatever for makeup. So it just made a little bit extra space for us. The TV is on a televator. The televator comes up, has a really great sound bar that everyone can hear. And like we mentioned before about the dinette, this just becomes like a big extended living room. You got people on the couch, you got people maybe on cubes, sometimes over sitting on the dinette, sometimes over in the chairs. And you can see everywhere. You talked about last week, the TVs all connect to each other. So the TV above the drivers can be watched while someone's watching this. We're also watching over here. So you always have a view of the TV is what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's very family centric. It's very like, you don't need to go off into your bedroom and go do your own thing. You can just really stay in the heart of the RV right here. And that's what we wanted. That's why we did the opposing couches, and Deborah works with less counter space.
Yes.
Trade-offs, but it's worth it.
It is. It was worth the trade-off. And then up above, so the TV will come up right here, and then these are our tech cabinets. So that's kind of the main nerve center as far as TV communications, networking, where all of that comes together there. So
yes,
that's kind of my space up in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you have made that be all things that just make our life so easy in the tech world. So
yes, our Ring security system, all of that, all up there.
All up there.
And the answer to the question is yes, you can put a Ring security system on your coach, and I would recommend it. So we rarely use it as much anymore.
Right.
But in those places, because really in general, if we pull into a campground and we don't feel safe, we leave.
We just don't stay there.
Right. However, there are some places where it's like, okay, I think we're good, but I want to know we're good. So we'll put up a couple cameras outside that'll let people know we have eyes out there. And
yeah.
It's helpful.
And I would say it's probably less with campgrounds and more with dry camping.
Yes.
When we're overnight harvest hosting somewhere that
Very
we're
true.
like, I don't know about this. But even that's rare.
Yeah. Very rare.
Can I just talk about the floors?
Yes.
Okay. They're so warm right now. It's heated floors and my feet are so immensely happy. It's one of the ways that we heat the coach. And if you have never stood on a radiant floor, I don't know, it's an experience you need to experience because it just makes you feel like, woo, that's nice. The kitchen, I just wanted to add on this one thing. There are cabinets here that I use as pantry space. I don't know if I can open them. And I emptied them out a little bit, but I like to use these for all of my dry goods. And
OXO containers?
OXO containers, yep. And I just fill them up. And usually I only need to fill them once for like a 3-month trip, but they go in so nice and like just fit. They just fit perfectly. So I kind of swear by those. Down here is going to be like canned goods. We have a toaster down here, granola bars. All the other things just kind of get put down here. And I did put a tension rod in so that I could really cram a lot more in there and it would stay. It's important to use your space.
And we don't like surprises. You know what that saying, whenever you fly, be careful, things may have shifted around
Overhead.
in flight. Same applies in the RV world. So that's where those tension rods are very helpful.
They're magical. Okay, this is the girls' bunk bed. So we got 2 bunks in here, and the cabinet doors open and then also collapse.
Yeah, kind of fold out of the way.
Yes. So we did invest in new mattresses for our girls. If you know anything about any RV that you're going to purchase, the mattresses are not good. I have heard nice things about Airstream. That's about the only one that I know that you wouldn't want to replace. But we replaced ours, and we get glowing morning remarks. I slept amazing. We got windows, we got curtains. We also have curtains right here that will come across. So these stay open usually. Maybe they close like this if we're just trying to make a better pathway. But mostly they stay open when we are camping, and that's fine. There are also drawers under here that the girls use. They each get one. You'll notice they have their own TVs. They use them sometimes. I would say mostly they're just out in the main area.
And they do have HDMI connectors, so they can actually connect it to their phone and then play movies or things like that.
They have done that before.
But they rarely use those.
So if you don't have kids that are little that would be wanting to use this, this also is a closet.
Yes, that's the beauty of it. So this actually folds up.
It like comes up.
So you can take the mattress off, it folds up, and then you can use it as a larger closet. So we were actually talking, well, several RVers, and they actually bought a bunk model like this so they could have their grandkids come and join them when they travel. And then when their grandkids aren't with them, they use it as a closet, or you can actually utilize that space even as an office.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You could change it around to office space. So it's just very versatile of how you would want to use it. Also, we met some friends who had big dogs, and their dogs, this is where their dogs' beds were. Yeah. So I think they didn't use this one, but they used this one. Our girls are, I don't know, they're average, but they sleep comfortable. They usually sleep in queen beds at home, but they don't really complain about moving to an RV twin. So RVs are notorious for just shaving a little space off because it's necessary, but they're still very comfortable. It's very spacious.
And the mattress upgrade was a big win.
Big win. And we did that with RV Mattress.
Yes, rvmattress.com. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably heard of RV Mattress. We will just give another shout out. Yes. Not sponsored, they're good. But they are good.
They're very good.
And this is a person right here who... Super picky, sleeps on a Tempur-Pedic, has had back issues.
That's right.
And
they sleep very nice. It is a foam core mattress, which I prefer, and I think they are amazing. The girls are super happy, so we're happy. This is what they use for more of their own storage. And we got these rope bins that just fit in perfect. They each get 2. And then like they put stuff into their rope bins and then put them back into here. And I would say this is like an arm's width deep, pretty deep. Over here is their bathroom. And I love that this is all connected because middle of the night, they don't have to be wandering around. We don't hear anything. It's just like right here. It has a full shower, has lots of storage for all of their things, all their makeup. And they have little organizers that they have put in here too, which are so nice. We have room for towels, for all the lotions, all the cotton swabs, all the makeup brushes, they make it happen right here.
It is a full bathroom. So sink, toilet. I'm currently standing in the shower. So
so that you can actually.
So I'll go around here. You can see, very nice, full shower. Got a little, that's not technically a bench. It's more of like you put it down and put your leg on it. But it is bench
because it's big enough to hold you.
Okay.
So if you needed like a handicap accessible, it would work. Okay. And the shower goes up and down and it comes off where you can use it as a wand. They really thought of a lot of things with that.
They did. And it's got some really good dry camping settings, which we'll talk more when we have more space back in the master bathroom.
Okay. Now let's go to the master bedroom and the bathroom back here. This has a king bed in it. Shout out to RV Mattress again. We like our upgraded mattress quite a bit. Makes sleeping on the road very cozy. On this side, we have a TV that has a cabinet for storage behind it,
which I use kind of as my tech camera.
Yeah, charging.
Yes, little charging station back here for action cameras and whatever else needs charged.
So that's nice. And then dresser area. You use this for your drawer space. I use this side for my drawer space. And then we have a partial closet, coats. You just get really good at squirreling things away. Like the longer we travel, the more this just fills with things. And it's great. I'm pretty good at squirreling things away.
Yes, you are.
I will say the really wonderful thing about this being a half closet is there are times I keep our coats in here and we've arrived at a campsite and it's raining. And so when everything's closed up, the full cabinet can't open. The half cabinet can open, which is why I keep our coats in here. And then I just come climb on the bed, open this up, grab coats out. So even when everything's condensed together, you can still get in here. Just to keep that in mind.
Which is wonderful.
Yes. This is full, but it has 2 hanging racks here. We've also used this as a shelf. Down here we keep a fan. We just keep like miscellaneous hiking shoes.
Weighted vest for when we're walking around the campground. You can get a good workout in.
That's right. Yeah, it's just very helpful. So we use both of these. Both of us use both of these.
Yes.
And then we keep the girls' coats back here. Stuff like that. So that's that guy. Full mirror. So nice. Things you don't realize that you might want until you don't have it is a full mirror. And then coming in here and be like, oh, what a relief. One of my friends also mentioned about having a fan in the master was so nice. And I didn't realize how wonderful that was until you don't want to run the air conditioning or the heat is just a little hot. And I love that the switch for the fan is on my side.
Yes, it is.
I
right
rule that thing real nice. But the fan has been wonderful. I've really enjoyed having a fan in here. That's a wonderful perk. These bins up over the top of our beds, I kind of thought in the beginning they wouldn't be like, well, you know, I guess that's nice. They are so deep.
Yes, they are.
And you can fit so much in there. This one has
a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Deborah always tries to buy me new hats.
Yeah, stop that, Deborah. Wow. What else do you put up here? Hats?
I put my laptop. So that's kind of where I would store it at night. So it's just not just
out of the
out.
way.
Yeah.
This side, I think is funny because we actually do have a printer. So here's all of our hiking packs. And then behind here is a small printer. And we're doing school and our kids are in college classes that sometimes you need things printed off. Also, sometimes the UPS store or like shipping things, or we've needed it enough that we continue to carry around a printer.
Yes.
So it stays there. That one's mine. Books. So many books and blankets. If anyone needs a blanket, they come back. Mom, do you have an extra blanket? Yes, I do.
But of course.
Yeah. So the only other thing I'm going to talk about is that these little end tables have this long little cabinet that opens. It's not a ton of room, but it's enough. You can just put a couple of things in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of books.
And there's outlets so you can plug in to charge your phone.
Yes.
Just super. And they
just thought of stuff.
Everything.
Like the outlets are just like right here. You have one down beside the bed. Step up into the bathroom. And I think we're over the engine right here.
Yes, we are.
Like
there's
that's
an
why
engine
there's
door
an entrance right there. So this is macerator toilet, 2 sinks, his and hers. How nice that they thought of that.
Another thing we don't have at our house.
That's right.
A master bathroom, and B, 2 sinks.
2 sinks in a bathroom.
Not complaining. I love our old house.
Again, with the space. So much space. This is your cabinet and you just fill it with all the things that you need. This is like the everything cabinet and it just catches all the extra paper towels and all the extra towels, like beach towels, bags of potato chips that we bought so many of. We're like, where are we going to put these? They go in this cabinet. 2 drawers. We sometimes keep jewelry in here. We keep, if we're dry camping, there's those wilderness wipes, mattress holder. There's just room for everything. These pull down. Toothbrush. This is where we keep like underwear and t-shirts, pajamas. This is cleaning or like extra things that you would keep in a hall closet, extra cotton balls, extra, just like, it's kind of like a hall closet, cleaning closet. These are mine. Also mine along with the medicine, like the medicine cabinet and the first aid cabinet would live here, up here. They've been emptied out because we're home. But like anything that I would need will be up here. Down here is kind of like a tiny space, but it has a outlet. And this is where we charge our vacuum attachments and supplements. I keep extra supplements in here as we travel. Okay. Behind this magical door, you will find a stacker, washer, and dryer. I love this so much. And I know if we ever change into a trailer or something like that, this will probably not be part of our next setup. So because
we probably won't go from this to a fifth wheel. It'll probably
go bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. Again, with the trade-off, right now we're so big that it does limit some of the things we can do, but we're so big that we get to have all the things that make it the comforts of home. So we run a lot of wash and it does a really good job. I've been very pleased. We also keep an ironing board. I know. This is me. It's just, you might need an ironing board. You just never know. That might not make it to the next setup either, but right now it does. Laundry soap, just extra supplies are kept down there. We've added a lot of command strips back here just to give us more room to hang.
Not sponsored. It should be.
There's lots of command strips. This is command strips. This holder for shampoo is command. Here's another one on the outside that we've used.
And placement of command strips, super important.
Yes.
It's like the perfect location. You open the doors, grab your towel. You're not getting water all over the floor. Again, you got to take care of your coach.
That's right. So pretty roomy, actually. The seat is up and down. It's not like our at-home shower that is much roomier, but when you're showering in a parking lot with warm water, it's kind of this like, we're pretty spoiled. So all the comforts of home.
So when we're dry camping.
Okay, so what you would do is you would turn this and then turn on your water in the hot position. When this turns gray, the water running through is all warm. So when we're dry camping, we use this system, and then instead of turning on and off the water, because then the water would go from cold to hot and then it would have to warm up again. This just keeps it warm the whole time, and you turn this guy on and off. So it's like rinse off, turn it off, soap up, turn it back on, rinse off again, turn it off. You're like, do the next thing. So it's kind of like an on and off, and the amount of water that you need is so much less than what you would think when it's not constantly running. And
you would only use that when you're dry camping or in a place, a harvest host, something like that, where you're running off of your water tank.
Yes.
You only have 100 gallons of water or less.
You want to be very...
Yes, you want to conserve as much water as possible, and that is an amazing system to have hot water and be able to shower wherever you are.
It's very nice.
It's fantastic.
No complaints. Yeah, so I will say this is very nice. Adjustable. And both of the showers have this. So, yeah, this is the shower. Anything else on that?
No, I think that's good. All right, well, I think we're ready to give an official review. Now that we've given the tour, now it's time to do the official review of spending over 300 nights in this coach. What do we think? Would we do it again? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
All right, are you ready?
Ready.
So over 300 nights, over 25,000 miles, 26,000 miles we've driven in this coach, driven practically all over the United States. I think we're only missing at this point 3 states.
Yeah, only a couple.
So here's our honest review of the 2022 Forest River Berkshire XLT 45 CA. Say that 10 times real fast. So we're going to give our honest review, and we've kind of broken it down into 5 categories. What are those 5 categories?
So the 5 categories we want to talk about are size, layout, livability. That's a category. Secondly, towability, drivability. Third, build quality and reliability. Fourth, storage and cargo carrying capacity. And fifth, budget, purchasing and ongoing cost.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with thoughts on size, layout, livability.
Yeah, it's big. So if you didn't notice that already, it's very big, which does have trade-offs. And we went into it knowing those trade-offs.
Yes.
So we knew we wouldn't be able to stay at some state parks. We wouldn't be able to stay at some parks in general. And we were okay with that because the trade-offs were, when we're in the space, it's going to be a bigger space and we're not going to be miserable in the space. We haven't had a hard time finding a place to park the coach. I mean, we've stayed in Redwoods National Park. We've stayed in a lot of these places. So you just have to understand that there are trade-offs. But this thing has just been, rock solid.
So size, although we are large, that is part of why we bought it, because we knew we weren't weekend camping.
Right.
This isn't like, we're going to be gone for a week. We're going to be gone for 5 nights. We're going to be gone for 105 nights where we have to work and we have to school and we have to live with each other. It's just,
whether you like each other or not, we all have those days.
It's real. Yes. It's real. We are in each other's space. How much space are we willing to live in?
Yes.
Like what is necessary?
Yes.
So everyone having their own bed. I remember that being like, everyone needs to have their own bed, not something that we have to put together every night to make them a bed. Mm-hmm. Everyone having their own space. So that's why the bunk beds with the curtains, or just having a space where you can retreat to be alone.
Yes.
And then the other thing is understanding we didn't have small children. We had teenage children, and everyone just needed, because they're bigger, we just needed a bigger space.
Yes. For
everyone to feel comfortable and not scrunched and just have a better experience, so that we wanted to set it up that our kids enjoyed what we were doing and not like
the worst thing that I was concerned about was that we would go and do our first trip and that they would hate it and never want to do this again. So that did really inform. I loved this as a kid. We did it a little bit, not in anything like this.
We never did this.
But I loved it. And so I wanted to make sure that we at least set ourselves up for success when it came to the living quarters and what we were doing. I think that the really important thing, I forget who I heard say this, but know your mission. What are you trying to do? If this is a weekend thing, maybe twice a summer, then I would have never done this.
Different.
Yeah, I would have never done this. But for what we wanted to do, where it was longer term travel, where we're traveling about half the year, really, kind of in 3-month chunks, this has really been the perfect setup for us. So
as far as livability, that was a big thing that we thought about, and really why we didn't do certain other setups.
Right.
It was like, well, nope, that's not going to be livable.
Yeah.
Also, I'm probably a big reason that we went so nice. This is like Deborah's introduction into traveling, and let's make it nice. And then now I talk about the next setup. And
so let's just be honest, camping for Deborah prior to this was Holiday Inn Express.
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, really awful camping would have been Super 8.
But I think you've surprised yourself.
I have grown.
Yes, you have.
I have flexed muscles that I didn't know I had. So I'm learning.
You've done awesome.
So that was the first one. Second one that we're going to talk about is towability and driveability.
That's probably one of the biggest questions I get when they see the coach is, what is it like to drive that thing? And they look at me with this face of fear and trepidation.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is so easy to drive. And being 100% honest, yes, I would tell people it's similar to driving our Honda Odyssey. The only difference to that, I would probably adjust that a little bit, that it is big. That's just a fact. You are 45 feet. You are 12 feet, 8 inches tall. It's a big machine. But honestly, it drives amazing. And also the previous owner gave me some great advice. He owns a big civil construction company, used to drive in semis and bulldozers and all kinds of stuff.
All the big rigs.
And before we bought it, I had never driven anything like this. So for those that ask that question, have you ever driven anything like that before? No. We bought it. We met at the seller's house. We did a tour. we said good. He took us on a test drive. He gave me some pointers, and then he handed me the keys and said, we'll see you later.
Bye.
And that's what we did. And those pointers he gave us, just understanding you're sitting on top of the tires you're steering, they're not out in front of you, making sure you leave plenty of space in front of you, making sure that you do wide turns so you go out and let that tag axle do what it does. And then really the last thing is just being aware of the tail swing. And those pieces of advice have been invaluable to us. So honestly, it's super easy to drive. And honestly, from a towing perspective, and I know, that question is kind of like, well, if you're towing your trailer versus driving a coach like this, but we do tow as well. So we tow our Jeep Wrangler behind us through the Blue Ox system that we have, the flat tow system. And to be perfectly honest, I have no idea it's there. Like when we're driving, I mean, honestly, I'm aware it's there because I have the rear camera up so I can see what's going on behind me. But when we turn, when we do different things like that, it literally stays almost right in line with the way that the coach is turning. But from a power perspective, when I hit the brakes, like I don't hear something hit us.
Right. Like
it's literally because it has a braking system that connects the coach's braking system into the Jeep's braking system with the Air Force One.
It's very seamless.
It really is. When you're taking your family out into these places, you want to make sure that you have a good setup. So it's really served us well.
Yeah.
We've not had very many issues. Any issues that we did have, honestly, were self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Because we were newbies. Again, this is our first setup, so we don't know anything different. But this coach has been incredible. And there's RV life. So you'll hear us even in our videos, RV life, where you'll have a tear that happens in your...
Something will happen.
Yeah. But everything is fixable. So anyway, it's been so good to us. So good to us.
Yeah.
I think on our last, so obviously we don't release our videos just in chronological order. So we've been on 3 big trips. And this last trip, I don't know how many times we've said, wow, we are so thankful that we bought this coach, because she really has taken care of us.
Yes.
So we're very grateful.
So the other question that we get right after they look at him and they're like, what's it like to drive that thing? Yeah. Then they look at me and they're like, do you drive it? And I'm like, no.
No. We're working on that still.
No.
Report back. Give me another year.
That might be all we have. We don't know.
Well, God knows all, but we'll see.
If it was my minivan, I'd be all over it.
We'll see. It is so easy to drive. You do have to be more adventurous. Yeah, you do have to be more on. So we don't drive as far. Like 450 miles is like the max that we drive. So, and when we route plan, we're typically not going to places that are, super crazy far apart. And if we do, then we'll drive 300 miles, stop. Let's say it's a 600 mile. We're not going to try to make 600 miles. We're going to go 300 miles, stay, do some dry camping where there's not the big setup of everything, spend the quick night, and then 300 miles the next day and get there. So It works out really well. But
it does.
Yeah, they did an amazing job designing, engineering the Freightliner chassis. I can't say enough good things about the Freightliner chassis.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because the next category is build quality and reliability. And we have talked about the chassis so often just being like, it just works. Yep. It just does its job, and you feel very secure and well taken care of.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel nervous when we're driving down the highway?
No, we could be going down grades. What was it, like 14%?
Yeah, in Utah.
Mm-hmm. And you're a little like, I'm not sure, but like.
And what was that highway in Utah? I mean,
Highway 12.
We felt like we were driving on the spine of the mountain.
Spine of a mountain.
The things we were looking at out that windshield were incredible.
But you almost couldn't really enjoy them, because you're going down 14% grade, or you're going up 14%. I think it was going down, because I just remember being like a roller coaster, like you can't see. And then like suddenly you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. But we had spent enough time driving in this that I knew we're going to be fine. And you had figured out all the engine braking and all the different ways to help control that. Okay, this is a little adventurous with a 45-foot coach going down this 14% grade, but I didn't feel like, I don't know if we can make this or not.
Yeah, and this goes back to one of the first sales representatives that we didn't end up buying a coach from, but we were actually looking at a 35-foot gas coach at that point. And she honestly talked us out of it. And we even put in an offer on one, and the details didn't work out. but it really made us revisit the things that she had shared with us. And when we started looking at that point at the used market compared to the new market, and then the research that we did to find out, oh, new actually isn't better. It actually could be worse.
Yeah.
Or one with super low miles could actually be worse, not better.
Because it's not driven.
Yeah, it's not driven and it's not been maintained well. It actually pushed us to the diesel pusher. And again, Forest River, they made some great decisions. I mean, from the chassis. So there's majors and minors in RV life. Like chassis stuff is typically major. So, I mean, you want your engine to work. You don't want anything with your brakes or any of that having issues. And this thing has been rock solid for us. The issues that we've had, some of them have been just education issues. Like we didn't know.
We didn't know.
And then you have just little things in the house. Like, well, actually, I would say probably 80% of the issues that we have had have been self-inflicted.
Right. But having a Freightliner chassis has been nice because anywhere we go in the country,
yes,
we're on interstate or we're close to interstate, and those are the trucking routes. And so Freightliners are accessible if we need them. We've only needed it once.
Yeah, and we didn't technically need it then. It was more convenience. So our dash AC wasn't working really well, and that was self-inflicted because I had taken the generator out and it pulled a cord out
that connected to the
we
AC.
Literally took it to Freightliner, and the guy was so kind because he could have been like, you have no idea what you're doing. But yeah, this coach, from a build quality, even the design, like I can't think of any super glaring thing that I'd be like, why in the world did they do it that way? I mean, we have 3 top AC units. 2 of them have heat pumps. Like we have 4 ways to heat the coach. They literally thought of everything and then some. There are like luxury coaches that are $3-4 million. We didn't pay anywhere.
That use the same systems.
Yes, that use the same systems that we have. So like the value for the money with the Forest River Berkshire, it's incredible. So you actually don't see a lot of them, which baffles me, really baffles me. But then when we do, like we were in Vermont, and one of the guys is like, I love this thing. He's like, are you having a good experience? I'm like, absolutely. It's amazing. So from the other Berkshire owners that we've talked to, they've all just been glowing reviews. So we would definitely recommend, based on our experience, if you're looking at something like this. And again, this isn't a sponsored video by Forest River. This is just an honest review. It's a rock solid coach. There will be a day that we'll sell it, and honestly, it'll be sad, but we're going to enjoy it while we have it. And it's been a great coach.
And also, we bought this knowing you pack the miles on it.
Yeah.
And it wants that. It wants to be driven.
Yeah, we're not talking hundreds of thousands of miles when you talk about coaches, because these are built like semis practically, especially the chassis parts. You're talking million-mile coaches. So yeah, it's got a lot of life left. And it's a 2022. We're in currently 2025. I'm not sure when this video is going to release, but yeah, we've got a lot of life and a lot of adventure left in her. So we're excited.
Okay, let's talk about storage and cargo carrying capacity. I think we've talked a lot about storage already. The storage down in the bays, underneath in the basement, storage around here, storage for 5 adult people who we homeschool. So that's like an extra storage.
And work remotely.
Yeah. There's just so many places to put things. It's kind of almost just like deciding what is the most accessible place that this should be.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, you're going to pare down anyway. Like you can't take your entire home. You don't need your entire home. So you just take your favorite things, and that's what you use, and that's what you reach for anyway. And there is room for all of it.
We're pretty close. I mean, I feel like I could answer this question with pizza oven.
Yeah.
We take our pizza oven, and we have, I would say there's probably at least 30% more space if we really wanted to cram it, which we don't. You know, we intentionally, yes, we take the things we really want, but you do have to think about weight. So when you're talking these coaches, like you want to think about weight, because the more weight you throw on it, that's just unnecessary, the more stress that's actually putting on it. So I always try to gauge when we're packing things on, like, are we really going to use this? Every trip we come back and we look at it and say, what things did we really not use that's going off? Because actually, you know, traveling lighter is not just nice because then you're not moving as many things around all the time. It's actually better for your coach as well. So we have the capacity to carry way more than we actually take, but we want to take care of the coach again. So she takes care of us, and she does. So anyway, but we take our pizza oven. I say all that, but I'm still saying we take our pizza oven. We take our Weber travel grill.
We have a weight set.
We have 180 pounds worth adjustable dumbbells sitting down there. So, but when you drive, it doesn't feel heavy. It really doesn't. So, I mean, the airbags, it's just, it's an incredible machine.
Yeah, with plenty of space.
Yeah.
Last little one here is budget. And budget, talking about not just your purchasing price, but the ongoing cost for taking care of our coach.
Yeah. So Class A's, which is what this is. So when you get into it, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but when you go into motorized, there's like C's, Super C's, there's van life, there's like all kinds of things. And there's even a letter for that, but I can't remember what it is. But this is like the highest, biggest kind of high end when it comes to motorized with Class A, especially when you get into diesel pushers. And I mean, these things can range from like used. I mean, you could get one for under $100,000 in reality.
Right.
And you can go up as high as you want to go. You get into some of those brands and you're talking dollars that I wouldn't even spend on a sticks and bricks house any remotely close. So for us, when it comes to cost, again, there's the two sides, right? There's the purchasing it, there's the insurance for it, and then there's the maintenance.
Taking care of it.
The maintenance. So, depending on the type of rig that you want, you really have to think through those things, because things like aqua-hot systems need annual maintenance. Things like your generator, you're getting that maintained every 150 hours. Just the chassis in general, like every so many miles, you're doing chassis maintenance and things like that. And you want to stay on top of it. And we really, because we don't know so much, we really do stay on top of it. Yeah, this thing is taken care of very, very well. So but that's costs that when you think about it, if I hear somebody say, well, it's like at the top of my budget just to purchase it, I would say scale it on back, because the maintenance costs, depending on your coach and what you're doing, can be pretty hefty. Sometimes even more than what you're paying, depending on how you're financing or if you're financing. It can almost cost you as much in maintenance costs as it does for just payments on it.
Right. And I think it's kind of like purchasing a house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is legit. It's a mortgage.
Right.
But when you purchase a house, then you have to fill the house.
Yes.
And I think that is something that we underestimated
completely.
A little bit.
Yes.
The things, because we don't full time. So we weren't unloading our home into a new home. We were trying to find things that replicated our home. So you're buying it and then you're buying more to make it livable, because it just comes completely empty. You're buying adjustable shelving. You're buying like so many things to make it. You're buying command strips. So many command strips.
So many. And like for us, we use Apple products. So like Apple TVs and getting those things set up the way that you want it. So it's just from going from your home to your home on wheels, that it's as seamless as possible. So people aren't having to learn how to do certain things. And there's a big learning curve, trust me, especially for us. Like we hadn't done any of this. So there was a pretty big learning curve, but yeah, just to equip it, you just need to act like, depending on, again, know your mission, know the type of living style you're looking for while you're on the road, then make the choice, but then understand you're basically, depending on how you travel, like for us, you're basically getting all the things you need for another home.
Right.
And this is basically a luxury apartment on wheels. So you're buying all the things. There's some things we'll take back and forth, but honestly, it's a pretty big hassle. I know some people, they literally recommend just having clothes in a complete setup so you don't have to do any of that. I'm not quite there.
I'm not either.
So we do like clothes and stuff like that. We pack for the trip and we'll unpack that. But gradually over time, we are starting to not take things off or to buy things gradually for the coach. And you can do that.
Yes.
So like, don't let your budget or quote unquote lack of budget be a thing that keeps you from doing something. So for us, we didn't wait all these years and like save up all this money to be like, okay, now we can do this quote unquote perfect setup. Number one, there's no perfect setup. I love setups. The reason we will sell this isn't because we're sick of it or we don't like it. It's because it's fun learning different setups, learning how things work. And for us, that's part of the adventure.
Right. If you are buying something new that you need to replicate your home, the thrift store is a great place to go. We did a lot of thrifting to help fill this. And then little by little, like I just bought a new hand mixer, like, okay, that hand mixer is, but like we've been doing this for 2 years. So yes. We'll throw a new hand mixer in the mix.
Yes. It's one of our favorite YouTubers. They say, start small, start now. So I would encourage you to do that too. If you can't do, the big trips, or you have no desire. There's a lot of families we're talking like, I can't even imagine ever doing something like I wouldn't even want to. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. But if you do want to do something, then define what is your mission? What do you really want to do? And then with whatever budget you do have, what's it gonna take? Just start small, start now, go do a thing, see if you like it. We can be a little bit bigger risk takers when it comes to certain things. Obviously, being an entrepreneur and owning multiple businesses
kind of prepares you for that.
And homeschooling and whatever, like we've kind of built up that muscle where we were willing to jump in the deep end. But anyway, it's paid off, not just in like, wow, this is an amazing coach. And that's what we've shown you today. At the end of the day, the only reason this matters is to go and have the memories with our kids, going through the redwoods and seeing those things and being able to, just have some of these experiences that we've had that'll be memories for a lifetime. For us, this is an investment, not in a coach, really. I mean, it is an investment. Don't get me wrong. It is an investment, but it's really an investment in memories for our kids, and us for many, many years to come. And it is true, now that we've been on 3 trips, when you come back, it's like the memories get sweeter.
Yes.
And you start to forget some of the struggle along the way, because any adventure, there's peaks and valleys. That's just the reality of any adventure. And I hope our channel communicates that. It's not just all these high times. Like,
I hope we're real.
Yeah, there are times where it feels like an absolute dumpster fire.
Yes.
But there are also those moments, that honestly just take your breath away. And you get both of those things. It's not one or the other. You get both of those things. But the further you get away from that experience, the sweeter it gets. And I've heard people tell us that before. And I was like, you sure about that? But it really does. It's been amazing.
So those are our 5 categories that we just wanted to roll through with you and give you our honest opinion of how this coach checks or doesn't check all of those boxes. And would we buy this coach again? Absolutely. We would. For definitely for the price that we got it. We got an amazing deal. So I just want to encourage you, if you're looking into new like us, don't hesitate to look at the used market. There's some amazing new coaches, so don't get me wrong. Honestly, after our experience with Forest River, I probably would look at a new coach with them. But if budget was the concern, don't be like, oh, well, I could never do that. Right.
Go look at the used market. We found this on RV Trader. It's an app, a website, and we were at the right time, in the right place, and it checked all the boxes for us.
And we had a really good inspector.
Really good inspection.
Get a good inspection. It's worth whatever the cost was for that. Is very worth it.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed the tour. Honestly, I'm not sure how we're going to do this video because it's going to be really long. Because we've got the exterior, we've got the interior, we've got the review. Would we buy it again? And we're actually going to do another segment on the power management. But regardless of how it comes out, we hope you've enjoyed this video. And it's such a blessing to get to travel with you. Go to all these amazing places. So thank you for being on the journey with us. We hear from people who, it's kind of emotional, but they thank us because we're putting out videos to places they'll never get to go to. Yeah, and that's super sweet. So now that I have my emotions back in check, it's awesome to travel with you. So thanks for joining us on this. If this has been helpful, number one, if you have any questions, please put them below. I tell people that we're kind of like the crash test dummies for RV life. So feel free, if you have a question, put it below. We'd be happy to answer any of those questions. If you found this video valuable and you'd love to keep traveling along with us, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications. Make sure you click the bell actually so you can get the notifications. And that also helps us reach more people with the content we're creating, which is just a massive blessing and a ton of fun. So thanks for being on the ride with us. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. If you would like to see additional content, such as our top travel resources and other free tools, be sure to join our free online community at ronanddeborah.com. Before we wrap things up, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Northwest Iowa Community College. NCC has been such a great fit for our homeschool family. They offer flexible learning options online, on campus, or a mix of both, so it's easy to make education work around your adventure. Our daughter Olivia is actually dual enrolled at NCC right now. She's earning both high school and college credits at the same time. It's been such a fantastic opportunity for her to get ahead while still homeschooling. If you're a homeschool family looking for a way to take that next step, NCC is a great option. Small class sizes, supportive instructors, and affordable tuition make it an easy choice. So, if you're ready to start your success story, check out nccbound.com/homeschool. A big thanks to NCC for making videos like this possible. Want to join our next adventure? Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. See you in the next video.